And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's just because of that sarcasm,
cynicism, apathy, really.
General lack of enthusiasm in his opening remarks.
I'm sorry that you found my hilarious synopsis as something other than hilarious. But let me assure you, sir, it was there for the delight and delectation of our very prejudiced, in my favour, listeners.
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 9, Episode 14, the original and bestest ever TV and movie podcast. My name is Stephen Wrigley and I'll be your host for this evening. Beside me is a man who says he's never come close to having someone at hello. It's Mike McDonough. In the red corner, it's our cuddly killer, a man who reckons only the 4-foot long Mars bar should be called fun size, as 2 inches just doesn't cut it. It's Mark, superhero Leonard. This week we'll be discussing some movies in the shape of Yakuza Apocolypse. Yes, we are. And some TV in the form of The Last Kingdom and Benders. Benders. Of course, we'll have the usuals. We'll have some news and we'll have some previews. And coming to a bicycle near you. So how are we doing?
Fantastic, Steve.
Brilliant. Cue anecdote.
So I was at this wedding.
Yeah.
I was at this wedding and there was 7 people I knew there apart from my wife.
It's quite a lot.
You're going to wind up sitting beside your wife. That's a given. But typically people, when they're doing their seating plans of adventure, tend to seat people that know each other together.
Yeah.
But not this bride and groom. Oh, no. They thought it would be fun to sprinkle people that know each other on different tables just to give a little bit of flavour to everybody. So I come in and look at the table plan and I looked for the other 7 people that I know. They were all on different tables, like literally one of those people on each of the tables. So I'm right, this is not good. So I looked at my table, the very creatively titled Table 14. And I recognised Michelle's cousin.
Yeah.
Who's a bodybuilder.
All right.
It's a girl.
Yep.
She's well, to say she's a bodybuilder is in the same way that I'm a bodybuilder. Like, we don't take steroids, we don't look ridiculous, but we like lifting weights with the goal of being bigger, right?
Right.
So I said, well, this is good.
Figure modeling.
I've got
figure modeling. All right. Okay.
Toning.
Sorry, Mark.
Go on, Mark.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I've got plenty of things I can talk to this girl about. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd seen her boyfriend before, and he looked like. He looked like someone who was into sport or whatever, so I didn't think it was going to be a problem. Didn't know the other 2 people at the table, but, what you going to do, right? I'm just going to fucking make some new friends here. I'm going to make new friends all over this fucking wedding. So I landed at the table anyway, and, within moments, I was talking to the 2 people that I didn't know, and I said, geez, this is brilliant. It's like we're old friends. There's no awkwardness. There's no lack of comfort. They're just telling me story after story after story, and they never really slowed down, either of them. So I was going, Christ, these people aren't friendly. They just cannot stop talking. So I decided anyway that when the next chance arose, I was just immediately going to start a lifting conversation with this girl, because otherwise it was never going to fucking happen. Because when the tables split up, you're going to go to your actual friends. You're not going to hang around with your pretend friends. Right? So I waited for Michelle to be talking to the other couple, and as soon as they'd made eye contact with her, I immediately went with, how's training going?
Right.
What's your body fat like these days? What kind of macros are we talking? What's your split?
Yeah.
Right. All important questions that anyone who's into weights and into bodybuilding has the answer to, ready to go.
Yeah.
So by the end of those questions, I realised that she was kind of on maintenance at the minute, not really that pushed about calorie deficit or surplus, right? So she's just like me. I'm in maintenance.
Yeah.
This is with something even more in common.
Maintaining red strain.
Found out that she loves leg day.
Mm-hmm.
Later found out that's a common complaint with women because their muscle structure is different from boys, and legs days just aren't as hard for them.
Yeah.
Risky subject to stay in mixed company, but I'm confident that saying it to you guys, it'll go no further. And no, the way I've just described the conversation to you with this girl about weights is about as long as it took for me to say it to her in real time.
Right.
It was really snappy. Like I said, what's your body fat? She came right back with it. What are your macros? She told me. What's your split? She told me.
Yeah.
It wasn't taking long. And by the end of that, when I came off the jump of the what kind of weights do you like? And she goes, I really like leg day. At that point, the woman of the couple disengaged from her conversation with Michelle and goes, my son is on 4,000 calories a day. And I kind of put on this exasperated expression and turned to her and went, really? And she continued to butt in and ruin the conversation for the duration of dinner. The only reprieve from their talking was the speeches, which were actually not bad as speeches go. Yeah. So that was my story of the weekend, Steve. It was a great conversation that I could have had, but never did.
The one that got away.
I was also at a wedding this weekend.
A wedding, were you?
A wedding.
Yeah.
And it was very, very strange in that A, it was outdoors.
All right.
B,
brave in Ireland. Yeah.
Very brave in October in Ireland.
Yeah.
The bridesmaids, they were all dressed up with a sort of almost a Lord of the Ringsy elven kind of a theme going on, with lots of foresty colours, greens and browns and stuff. And
were they wearing bushes?
Oh, better than that.
Oh, yeah.
They were wearing, all 5 of them were wearing matching green wellies.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
That was definitely a first for me. Eminently practical.
Was it muddy then? Was it like was the the circus in town the week before or something?
It was literally in a field.
Oh right. I can see the practicalities of that. It's cheap. It's always available. You don't have to book in advance. Yeah.
That's right.
Plenty of swinging room when you start dancing.
Yeah. But it got stranger. After the outdoor ceremony, whatever, we proceeded to the venue.
Okay.
Which was a wigwam.
No way.
Yeah.
Like a teepee wigwam.
Yeah.
A big one, obviously.
Like 150 feet long.
What? No way.
Yeah, it was fucking huge.
Wow.
With big wooden structures inside, and they even had a fire inside.
Deadly.
Yeah, it was cool.
Nice. So it was warm later then, I take it.
Yes, it was very, very pleasant.
Okay. Yeah. Snug.
Yeah.
Very good.
It takes all sorts when it comes to planning weddings.
For sure. I didn't think the wedding marquee market was that big, but there you go. So I have no anecdote this week.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, that's my news. Yeah. I could probably dig one up, but I'll come up with it later. Yeah. This week I saw a couple of movies that aren't on the list.
Did you?
Some that I was looking forward to, in fact. Mr. Holmes being one of them.
Okay.
This is the one based on an elderly Sherlock Holmes.
Ian McKellen
is starring.
I really
Ian
want
McKellen.
to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one we all said we're definitely going to watch this when it comes out.
Yeah, and then we didn't. Yeah. It was a busy summer. It was a busy summer. So so Sherlock is retired, and he's kind of getting a little bit forgetful. Let's say I won't say senile, but just forgetful, and he's getting a bit frustrated and annoyed with himself, and he's quite old. Yeah. In that he's quite frail and not too steady on the old feet, now and again. Yeah. He has episodes, where he falls over. But he's living in his house with a housekeeper and her daughter, or her son, who's played by Milo Parker, who we saw in Robot Overlords.
All right.
He was the little kid in that. Yeah. So he's quite good, actually. So Laura Linney plays the housekeeper, and so it involves a case that he can't remember if he finished or not, but he knows that he fucked up somehow, and that's why he retired.
Okay.
And it was like 30 years ago.
Right.
And so he reopens the case pretty much. And actually, what he's doing is writing a story. Because that's how Sherlock Holmes became famous in his reality, is that Watson wrote down these stories and embellished them all with his famous cap and pipe and so on, and 22B and all that kind of stuff. So, it's great. It's great. It's well worth a watch. I really enjoyed it.
Is there a Watson this time, or
no?
Okay,
no.
He just appeared along the way.
There's a brief appearance, but it's not central to the story.
Okay.
No, it's all Sherlock Holmes, and it's really good. It's really good. I know that's a bit of a crap description, but no, it's just really good. It's really interesting, and time flew along, and I loved it. Yeah, I'd give it a very strong 7. Yeah.
Just look out for it.
Ian McKellen is just brilliant in it. Yeah, I kept waiting
He's
for him
kind of
to go,
brilliant in everything.
run, you fools, run! Whatever they, he doesn't look as old, let's say, in real life, but in this, his face sort of, kind of has that, looks like he slept in it for many years, that kind of way. It's wrinkly and stuff, but it's well worth a look.
All right.
The other one I got to was Black Mass.
I think I saw that.
I don't know, because you're giving out about it, because I said we were going to watch it, and then you were giving out about having to watch it. And this stars Johnny Depp, Benedict Cumberbatch, Dakota Johnson, and Peter Sarsgaard. And this is the true story of Whitey Bulger.
Oh, no, I didn't see this.
Yes, this is Whitey Bulger, the brother of a state senator who was pretty much the leader of the Irish mob and kicked the Italians out of Boston. He was the most violent and so on in South Boston. Johnny Depp is amazing. Oh God, darling, he's amazing in this.
Right.
No, he's really, really fantastic in this. Sells the character, and
is he Whitey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, is he menacing at times.
Right.
Like, it just in typical, it's kind of a cliche nearly, where the boss is sort of going, yeah, you better watch yourself. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you say this?
Yeah.
Well, then that means that you're going to, do something around me and blah, blah, blah. And your man's going, oh, bollocks.
Yeah.
And he's going, yeah, man. And he's going, I'm only fucking with you. And your man's going, yeah. That kind of, you call me a clown? That kind of a moment, but he's brilliant at it. And it's a really good insight into the community, let's say, of South Boston at the time, in that particular area. It's good. It's a good watch. It's not... I think maybe I was overhyped for it. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, but still, it's definitely worth a watch, and I'd give it a strong 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp did... was it Bonnie and Clyde he did?
I think you're right.
He was really good in that.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
Seems to have a gift for gangsters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's always good with the characters that are more than eccentric. They're just a bit odd. And
a little bit,
like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, he's brilliant at that. It's not that it's a fantastic movie, but movies, but he's brilliant in that character. So what did you see this week?
A movie I've been meaning to watch for probably 11 years, but never quite got around to it. It was on TV the other night.
Man, you've been busy. Yeah.
I have been busy. Where do the years go? The Village by M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
The spiritual successor to, do you remember The Sixth Sense?
You've never seen The Village?
I never saw The Village. It was one of those movies I always said, I should really watch that, shouldn't I? But there was always something better to do, like picking my nose or something.
Right.
So finally, it was on, and I said, right, I'm going to sit down and watch this fucking movie and just get it off the list.
Yeah. So who's in this?
Just about everybody.
Really?
There's like Sigourney Weaver, William Hurt, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Tons of others.
Tons and tons of others. It's basically everybody wanted to be in this movie because it was so the other one was so successful.
Right.
The Sixth Sense, like Brendan Gleeson and Adrian Brody and
all right,
every damn person you can think of.
All right.
Yeah, roll up. Parts here to be had.
Wow.
So I kind of really liked the way it was shot.
Yeah.
There was a kind of a comforting little house on the prairie feeling about it.
All right.
And I felt myself wanting to be in this world, even though the premise of the movie is kind of ridiculous. They got this little village and they're cut off from everybody because they're surrounded by the big bad woods and there's monsters living in the woods.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you cross that line, they have it very clearly delineated with poles and flames at night and
Don't
stuff
go
like
near
that.
Here.
Yeah. This is bad news if you go across.
Yeah.
So that was all cool. I was really hooked into it. But the movie has a reveal.
Oh.
And the reveal is nowhere near as strong as the reveal in The Sixth Sense.
Oh.
Which kind of killed it for me. I'm seeing Mark here is not liking this. Mark's looking a bit defensive.
So, the film The Village by M. Night Shyamalan was very nearly the reason why me and my wife did not get together.
Oh, really?
I
sense
forget
another
the exact
coming.
circumstances. I forget the exact circumstances, but she was forced to watch this film under some duress by somebody other than me. Right? And she describes it like someone would talk about a gulag in Siberia.
Right.
And I watched it, and I was completely delighted with the twists and the very visceral terror created in the early going, and then how that backdrop completely dissolved and it became a film about something different entirely, which I actually thought you were going to talk about, Mike. I thought you were going to be in there with the whole, like, what we tell our kids becomes their reality and all this. So there's all that good stuff that you're usually into. Yeah. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. But Michelle hated it so much that when I said I liked it, she very nearly hated me.
So is that M. Night Shyamalan? Okay. Tell me, how was your favourite actor? How did he get on? Jesse Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah, he would have been a young lad in this.
Oh, he was very young in this.
Yeah.
He was thankfully not particularly famous at the time, so he did quite a small part.
Okay.
Which was a great relief to me. But I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah.
It was like an itching sore.
Yeah.
A scab I needed to pick.
Okay. So what would you give it?
Tough one to mark, because I really, really liked the movie until the end. I'll give it a very, very belated 6.
6. Oh, okay, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Mark, you see anything this week?
I would give The Village, seeing as you asked, Steve, an 8.
An 8. All right, okay, yeah. Wow. Okay,
so there's a range in there. We vehemently disagree.
Okay, so we're averaging on a 7, which is pretty good, yeah. Did you see anything else this week, Mark?
I didn't watch a whole lot of TV. Well, no, I did watch perhaps the most important premiere that's likely to happen this season.
Fargo.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Great British Bake Off.
Antiques Roadshow.
Big Brother. Jesus. Oh no, Grey's Lobotomy.
While I have seen the premieres of everything you've mentioned, the TV show I was actually talking about was Arrow.
Arrow? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. How'd that go?
Oliver Queen is back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because at the start...
Is his sister back, though?
Oh, yeah.
They're all there, Steve.
Just curious.
All there.
So it was
anyway.
good. It was a good premiere. Good, bad, indifferent, or
yeah. Well, it was decent. I was going to launch into talking about the things I didn't like about it, but to do that, I'd probably have to tell people more than they'd want, and it's only just out.
Yeah.
So go and watch the Arrow season 4 episode 1, which is called The Green Arrow.
Is this totally tied into The Flash now? Or is it still standalone?
Well, no, it was tied into The Flash last season. Since The Flash has come on the scene, it's been tied in.
That's what I was saying. Is that them bosom buddies now, those two shows?
They're pretty bosom buddies. And the one that's coming out with the what you call? Oh, with the guys from Prison Break in it. I want to say Legends of Tomorrow, but I know that's not what it is.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
I want to say the Forever People, but I know that's not what it is either. The Legends of Forever? No.
Fabulous Four, wasn't it?
Anyway, there's a new DC TV show featuring a team of superheroes / villains.
Yeah.
And what's happened is the writing staff from The Arrow left it last season to work on The Flash, and The Arrow went to shit. Now they've left The Flash and gone to this new one. So the question is The Flash going to go to shit?
Right.
Because The Flash was very good last season. It started off fine. The first episode, that was quite good too. But
yeah.
I probably talked more than enough about The Flash.
Yeah. The Flash. Yeah, I'm sort of. I know. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all. Sometimes I watch it and you go, "Oh, that's kind of good." No, yeah, they just ruined it. And then you live in hope. I'll watch the next one and just see. Will they keep that momentum of goodness going? And nah, they didn't. And then something at the end, a bit of a glimmer, and then I'd have to watch the next one. Yeah. Which is what they want, of course. But anyway, I'm not starting this season. I think I've too much overplayed this.
Just walk away, Steve.
Yeah, just walk away with it. Yeah. Put it in Z Nation.
Yeah.
Into the closet, right? All right. Okay, so next up we'll go to news with Mark.
New car movie to be the opposite of Fast and Furious. In case you missed it, gentle listeners, there has been a greater scandal than the assassination of JFK. Bigger than the hoax moon landing, bigger even than Bobby appearing in JR's shower. Or however that went, I can never remember. I am, of course, talking about the Volkswagen emissions scandal. As concept go, it is probably even less likely to generate a good movie than a film about a girl who is unknown and speaks in a foreign language. But anyway, here is the deal. And try to remember I'm not a car expert. It seems like the Volkswagen cars are essentially transformers. They use Cybertronian magic to change their exhaust emissions into gold when people test them. But when nobody is looking, they become Decepticons. Although Michael Bay is not associated with the project, I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Actually associated with the project is Leonardo DiCaprio, who drives a Prius, for Christ's sake. Rowdy Ronda Roadhouse Rousey. Yes, the most popular fighter in the UFC is going to be back on the silver screen reprising a role played by the late great Patrick Swayze. She plays the bouncer in the role that has been updated to be played by a woman UFC champion. Presumably with some dialogue changes like, if someone waves a gun in your face, armbar them. Rousey reached out to Swayze's widow, non-sexually, to get her blessing, which she received. The project is being fast-tracked and due to release next year. Optimum footwear for escaping dinosaur attacks still up for debate. In case you didn't spot it, in Jurassic World, star Bryce Dallas ran from dinosaurs, through jungle, for her life, in heels. She received some fan feedback for this, namely that maybe she should have taken the damn things off. She responded by saying that being true to her character meant not going barefoot, that having these symbols of femininity on her feet was her character's greatest strengths. In this reporter's opinion, here are some things you shouldn't do in heels. Hurdles. Shower. Arctic exploration. Walking to an ankle x-ray. The Pamplona Bull Run. Acting as any Tom Cruise character. And run from dinosaurs. That is all. Back to you in the studio, Steve.
Thanks very much, Mark. Speaking of Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you'll be devastated here.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got a flame now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Travis Brown in the shape, massive shape of Travis Brown,
Shit,
heavyweight fighter in the UFC.
He's a fuck side bigger than I am, isn't he?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's about 3 times his size.
Yeah. Still think I could take him, though.
Yeah.
If he's asleep and I have a chainsaw.
Yeah, that duct tape will come in handy. So a bit of a what do you call it? A bit of a chat going on in the background to that, bit of a scandal.
No, yeah.
I let our listeners just Google that rather than talk about it.
A little bit controversial.
Little bit controversial. Yeah, for sure. Travis Brown in UFC 192. That's all I'll say. So next up, we're going to talk about the first of our movies. The fantastic, well, I won't say it's fantastic. We'll talk about it first. Yakuza Apocolypse. Right, Mark. So
we previewed this.
We did.
Yeah.
And I intended never to watch it and was true to my ambition.
Yes.
I believe you swore on your only child's life that you would never ever watch this.
Yes.
And he tonight lies safe in his bed.
So, yeah, okay, how do you talk about this? Right, so there's this mob boss, right?
Right.
And he's sort of impervious to bullets and blades and beatings, and this is because he's a vampire, right? But he doesn't believe in hurting, never mind feasting on the citizens of his territory.
Yeah.
So,
He's
So
quite a nice, genial vampire.
He
isn't
is actually, yeah. He's pretty nice. Yeah, he's very protective of the people that pay him protection money.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of the deal, really. You know, but so to feast, he keeps a bunch of criminals in the basement of a bar or sort of a cafe that he visits, and so they sort of formed a knitting circle. And I'm not joking. They've actually formed a knitting circle, right? So so this boss, he's got plans for second in command, who doesn't know it yet, until a dude turns up dressed sort of in Shakespearean-esque garb with a small coffin on his back, and he speaks in English for some strange reason, and he's accompanied by a sort of a crazy kung fu dude who we've seen in what was the name of those two movies?
The Raid.
The Raid and The Raid 2, yeah. So Kung Fu dude beats up boss. Shakespearean dude shoots boss with a bit of car exhaust that he takes out of his coffin. And then it gets nutty, much nuttier. The boss's head wakes up and bites the second in command, which makes him a vampire. And he bites someone else, and they become not just a vampire, but a Yakuza as well. And then it kind of gets out of control.
What's a Yakuza, Steve?
Yakuza being the Japanese mob guys, yeah. I didn't explain that. Nice one. And so it gets out of control. So there's an apocalypse of Yakuzas, vampires, on the boss's turf, essentially. So that kind of doesn't play well for the Yakuza because they're kind of a bit miffed at everyone becoming Yakuza because now they're hard as nails and don't need protection. Yeah. And which means they've no revenue. So enter the king of the other vampires, the syndicate.
Yeah,
the syndicate. Yeah. So he's kind of a yellow frog character. He's a bloke in a costume. He looks kind of like Mr. Blobby kind of a thing, and but he's really good at kung fu, and he's got a very strong stare. Now, I'm not giving anything away in this. This is all in the trailer, by the way. This is only the setup for the movie. It's dubbed as a horror comedy, but
I think we dubbed that genre as haramedy.
Haramedy. Nice one. Sorry, I forgot about that. But it just gets mad because there's earthquakes and volcanoes and a duck-billed goblin and a Yakuza captain with her head full of milk and what King Frog dude turns out to be Godzilla-sized. And it's just like every genre nearly wrapped in. There's even a love story in it.
There is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot in it. I mean, I'd say these guys, when they're writing this, like this, the director, what's his name? Takashi Miike, I think his name is, or Miki, or something like that. But it's spelled Miike. Okay. He did the 13 Assassins, which you weren't a big fan of, Mike?
No, I was not.
I quite enjoyed it, actually. Yeah.
A little bit stylized?
A little bit of stylistic cinema. But what do you reckon on this, Mike? This is a hard one. See, I thought this might appeal to you in that it's a B movie and it's got a bit of the horror-comedy stuff going on.
Yeah.
But tell us.
I did like it, Steve.
You did like it?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And the main reason I liked it was because of the violence.
There's plenty.
Part of the reason I didn't like 13 Assassins was because it was very stylized fighting-wise.
Right.
Whereas this is kind of rough as bejesus. It's more like your Daniel Craig, James Bond, just fucking bait the living shite out of him sort of violence, right? Rather than get into your kung fu stance and pull off some impossible move or whatever.
Yeah. There's a bit of that too, though, in fairness.
Well, yeah.
There's a bit of the Raid in it.
It's interspersed with moments of, oh, come on.
Yeah.
You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And I did like the fact that they just ran with it.
Yeah.
They obviously realized at a very early point in the production that this was going to be a fucking insane movie.
I know.
They just said, let's make it more insane.
Yeah, could you imagine, right? Imagine being in the room when they're writing this.
Yeah.
It must have been so much drugs in there. It was just incredible. I don't know how they came up with all the...
I think it is a clear leader in the 2015 Best Watch Bake Stakes.
It's so true. Yeah.
It's probably also up there with the Best Suit 2015.
Oh, best suit. Yeah, for sure.
Very nice tailoring
yeah,
in this movie.
Yeah.
Just on the priesty dude.
Yeah.
That is a throwback to. Did you ever watch Shogun?
Oh, can't remember.
I was 19,
is that
1980s.
Was that like a Clint Eastwoody type movie?
No, it was a series.
No. No.
I think it was a James Clavell novel, but they made it into a series. But there was Portuguese and Spanish missionaries in Japan.
Okay.
Back in like the 1600s, whatever, and they were dressed like that. So that's a throwback to that kind of thingy. Although why they were speaking English, I still don't know.
Yeah.
So
you know your man second in command, Kageyama.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actor's name is Hayato Ichihara.
Okay.
And in 2009, he was voted fourth best good-looking man in a swimsuit in Japan.
There's a claim to fame.
And in 2011, he was voted seventh in the best abs. He's a good-looking guy. He's a handsome dude. Yeah. And that was a fantastic suit, I have to say. I wonder who his tailor is.
Yeah. Definitely Savile Row, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But the movie itself, is it? Can you say it has a structure?
Well, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. If that's what you mean, but that's about as close. Well, if you consider, well, there's many stories in this, and there's a lot of subplots that kind of he tends to deal with for a while and then just kind of forget about.
Yeah, there are a few forgotten characters.
Yeah, or else is just cut off quite quickly and brutally. But there's the vampire story. Yeah, there's the Yakuza story. There's the victim story. Yeah. And then there's the mental story as well. Yeah. So, but it is quite disjointed, all right. Yeah. But I think that's what he was going for. Is just that it's all over the place.
Yeah, I got the impression it was meant to be that way.
Yeah. And there's parts of it that are quite like a stage play, I thought, as well. You know, like in the basement, Goblin Dude, and there's quite a bit of talking. Yeah. You know, that kind of would drive you nuts, Mark. Yeah. But I ended up, in the middle of it, I was going, what the? Well, it was actually more or less all of it. I was going, what the hell is this? But I think I ended up liking it quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Just bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. On a scale of 1 to 10, just how much Mark would dislike this. Oh,
yeah.
It's hard to fathom just how much.
You would hate this. Yeah.
He'd probably be like some sort of Godzilla.
No, you see, it's not. Yeah, you can see, like from Mark's point of view, it's got a lot of things not going right for it. Subtitles.
Yeah.
The fighting is kind of crap. Really?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, but it's cartoony, but it's it's kind of crap. The characters, some of them they don't really put in that much effort on disguising them. And
there's no sign of Tom Cruise anywhere.
No, Tom Cruise. Yeah, so that's just it. Yeah. Also, it's a B movie.
And the Frog King. We just have to talk about the Frog King.
The Frog King, yeah. Mr. Blobby.
What a moment of genius.
Yeah.
It's like if you could put the Teletubbies into an R-rated movie.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking that, if you took one of the Teletubbies and you crossed it with one of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I think you have it spot on there.
Yeah. Because, man, he was kicking ass. How someone in that costume could do that. It was just...
Even with plenty of time to practice.
I know,
yeah. Forever.
Proper Bruce Lee. But anyway.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the highlight of my year. I think I enjoyed my time with it. Would I recommend it? A very select few people I think would enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how to mark this. Mark it on a B movie scale? Best
Probably,
out of 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably a 1 then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a bit.
Yeah,
bit
I
more
would.
than
I don't think I'd recommend anybody watch this sober.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
No.
You'd really want to be in some class of an altered state.
Yeah.
How you get there is up to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid 2.
Solid 2 for you. No, fair enough. Right. Let us never speak of it again. Right. Okay. So next up, we have first of our TV, which is The Last Kingdom. Mark.
A long time ago, in a land far, far away, but close enough to where we are, the land was raided by people from Denmark.
Boo.
These people were called the Vikings and given their own show on the History Channel. So in this show, they're never called that. They're simply from Denmark. And they rape, pillage and burn a village and orphan a young boy called Uhtred, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he is then absorbed into the from Denmark but not Viking community. And the story kind of goes from there.
Mm-hmm. I was very excited to see this.
You would be.
Yeah.
Oh, history! I
Yeah.
love you.
Wait for it.
Waiting.
I read the book.
Did you?
Oh my God.
Did you?
Yes, and thoroughly enjoyed the book. It's an awful lot of it is real history. It actually happened. It's just some of the main characters are put in to bind that together into a story to get all the history into it. So this got my history buff thing into overdrive. It was like, oh, cool, it really happened.
You totally had a history boner.
Oh, absolutely. Boners want it. Yeah, I think you should probably watch the full series before you get that so judgmental Mark Leonard thing.
Hold on, Mike. Mike, it sounds like, and I must be mistaken, that you're preempting my review and putting review words in my mouth.
It's just because of that. What's the word for it? Sarcasm,
Cynicism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apathy, really.
Yeah. General lack of enthusiasm in his opening
Well,
remarks.
I'm sorry that you found my hilarious synopsis as something other than hilarious. But let me assure you, sir, it was there for the delight and delectation of our very prejudiced, in my favour, listeners.
Yeah, so I sort of went into this with a bit of trepidation, thinking it's going to be another Vikings, because Vikings started good and then it ended up being, I kind of lost my way in it and didn't go back to it. This started quite slow, and 10 minutes in I was thinking, this kind of, doesn't look great. Then it picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, by the end of it, I was like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch more of this. And I thought the acting was good, I thought the dialogue was good, I thought the story is pretty interesting, actually. And yeah, it's good to see that they're not. It's not spoiling anything, is it? They're not afraid to kill off some main characters. A bit like, not like Game of Thrones, but they appear to be main characters. Let's
Well,
say.
they're not main characters.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
They were main in that episode.
Yes. They had a lot of screen time. Let's say. But yeah, looks good. Yeah.
Actually, Game of Thrones is a good comparison because there are a whole shit heap of characters in it,
Yeah.
and there's a whole shit heap of story to come.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're really looking at the tip of the iceberg there with the
Yeah. This is just a
first
setup, is it?
episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's all kinds of characters you haven't come
Really?
into.
Yeah. Cool. And do they tell me? I know they mentioned that one of the sons is going to Ireland to find his fame. Is there more of that? Is there any Irish reference in this later on, or is that just?
That would be in the later books.
Okay.
You probably won't see it in
Probably won't
this
get to it
series.
in this series. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there'll be season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. The lads will be back at some
Yeah.
stage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was good, and I like that they didn't do the whole, pan through the village. Oh, look, this is how the villages used to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man, fucking hammering iron. The blacksmith.
Yeah.
There's a
There's a
lady.
girl drawing water.
Yeah. There's someone baking and someone hanging out clothes. Oh, look, they're doing like normal stuff in the village. They didn't do that. They just went straight into it.
Somebody get those chickens.
I know, yeah. The harvest is late this year, No, I like that they got straight into it, and no bullshitting about.
Mm-hmm.
Quite gruesome in places, but
it's quite a lot of ass kicking.
Yeah, there is. But I thought they were reserved enough with it. I thought it was in context.
Yeah.
They didn't do. What was that we watched a few weeks ago? Where it was just gore for gore's sake. It was kind of in the same kind of.
Oh, the bastard execution.
Yeah. Well, that's in my opinion how not to do it.
Right.
Whereas this is the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Less gory than Game of Thrones, even.
Yeah.
But you got the effect. You didn't need to. See
Yeah, you
anymore,
certainly get the idea that people are suffering.
You get the idea. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, oh yeah, you do. Actually, no, I think back on it. Actually, yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Especially from. I know this wasn't where Mark was coming from, but I find it very interesting from a historical point of view as well.
Steve,
yeah,
I get the impression, though I must be mistaken, that you're preempting my review and putting review words in my mouth.
No. I know you're not big on being educated. Let's say.
I think you'll find that's because my education is already complete.
You like to be entertained, not educated. That's why I hate
I'm
those
gonna
goddamn documentaries.
Make a bold statement, right?
Okay.
How about I review the TV show for me, and you guys try and figure out your own opinions?
That's boring. Okay, go on. Yeah. Tell us, Mark.
So,
hang on, Steve.
Initially,
press the mute.
I had some. I'll start again. Initially, I had some reservations about this because I was very worried they would try and educate me. And as everybody knows, my education is now complete. And when it started, I was immediately interested because it started to show what I believe to be real battle tactics used around the time, like the shielding and the tortoise shields and all that kind of stuff. Really, really interesting. And so I was immediately intrigued. And then they did one thing, well, not one thing, right? But they made a certain decision in their writing that made me want to watch it through to the end. And that was, they made Uhtred really likable.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have kids in TV and film, you can get that wrong and it just ruins it. Like if you think of the kids that knew eunuchs in Jurassic Park.
Very true. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If you have an annoying kid and he's anyway central to the action, then it's a very difficult thing to get around. But this kid, he's very well written. Mm-hmm. He's just a likable soul, and it kept you interesting. It kept you interested through what is basically a very long preamble. Because it flashes forward to when he's grown up, right? I hope that's not spoilery.
Not so much.
No.
Because when I was watching it, I kind of said, this is going to flash forward to when he's grown up. Mm-hmm. And then it went on for so long, I kind of went, maybe they're not going to. And then it flashed forward to when he was grown up. So they really the shock twist got me there. But I think, Steve, you talked a lot of sense about the show as well, that the violence was slightly understated but visceral at the same time. It was still quite real. And I liked that about it. I thought the characterization was really good and it felt true to life. In fact, the whole milieu that they set up was very immersive. I didn't really, when you're watching these historical things and you see something that's a bit out of kilter and you're jarred out of it, mm-hmm. and the immersion's broken, there was none of that, right? So it's just a well-written, well put together. constantly moving show. There was very few pauses for breath. There was one or two in the very early going. But other than that, it's just constantly moving forward. So it's actually right up my street, this kind of thing. Good characterization, good character development, an immersive setting, and a plot that just moves very quickly from point to point. It's just a good show. So now, people who thought they knew what I was going to think.
Ah,
I am surprised.
yeah. A man who loves education again. Fantastic. The acting.
I love the casting.
Yes. Well, actually, yeah. So the casting. Brendan Gleeson could have been in this.
Yep.
Played about 4 different characters if you wanted to. You know, they have that big burly, hairy look, of course.
Yeah.
You know, the casting was great, as you say.
Yeah. Did you spot Rutger Hauer?
No.
He's the kind of blind granddad.
No way.
Yeah, that's
Oh, really?
it. Yeah.
All right.
I thought he was really good at that role.
Yeah.
actually,
That was a good character too. Yeah. And what else was there? You know, they're all very solid. There was none of them that was sort of going, it's a bit crap. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this series. Actually, I have to say, it's a nice little find. Yeah.
I particularly like the guy who played Abba. He's the big blonde bad guy.
Yeah.
Do you remember at one point the young lad is warned, never ever fight him.
Yeah. Never, ever fight him.
He was straight out of the book, exactly as I imagined him. Just big, scary motherfucker with tattoos on his face. And I was like, I'm never fighting him. No way.
He'd have Thor.
He probably would.
He'd have him.
Yeah. Make Thor his bitch, like. The settings I thought were really well done.
And there's no good clean dirt. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
they kind of look naturally
it
just
was
tatty,
fairly filthy. Yeah. I'm sure those castles are real, aren't they? They aren't made of Lego, are they?
Well, plywood maybe. I don't know.
But I was really happy with how they did it.
Yeah.
Because
True to the book.
Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
Obviously they have to compress things here and there, but you can see they're setting up people who are going to be important. And as Mark said, they've got the pacing very good. So yeah, fair play.
Yeah. Thriller all around.
Categorically a thriller, I think. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I just want to addendum. Like I've praised it quite a bit because I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would say that despite the casting seeming to imitate the book to your delight, Michael, I think there was a couple of duds cast. There was a couple of the child actors were really, really bad. Not Uhtred, he was very good, but nearly everybody else was terrible. Particularly the blondie boy.
Oh yeah.
Who features later.
Yeah.
He was very bad. His grown-up self, I didn't think was great either.
Well, fortunately, life expectancy in those times was very low.
Yes, so they'll probably sort it out. They'll probably have an attrition where they fire the 10% of their worst actors by killing them. Oh, no, you were always going to die. But it's not in the book. It is now.
Very good. So thriller all around. Okay, the second of our TV was Benders. Mike.
Benders is the story of a bunch of 20-something-ish guys, who play hockey, and that is
ice hockey.
That's what brings them together. And one of them has a granddad who's a little bit eccentric and decides he wants to die. So his beloved grandson, instead of saying, no, there's no fucking way I'm going to kill you, has a serious conversation to himself and with his friends about whether or not he should do it. And that's more or less the nub of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's this episode anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Michael, I can tell from the sarcasm and cynicism that you have used in your synopsis that plainly you did not like this. Because you hate hearing about old people attempting euthanasia because it's a stark look into your very near future. So plainly you did not like this. Steve, I suspect by the way you looked at Michael while he was talking that you also did not like this.
Yes, and you're as wrong as we were. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this. It's a laugh. You know, it's stupid. It's funny. The situations are ridiculous. The euthanasia thing actually turned out to be very funny, I thought.
Yeah.
And I love their chats in the sub box that they have while they're watching or waiting to get out on the ice. I think they're hilarious as well. Yeah, it's fun. It's Dennis Leary. He's had a big part in this. I don't know if he's in it, but he's certainly a hand in the production of, may even have written it. But yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was missing something.
Really?
It kind of they'd set up this weird situation, which had a lot of potential to be funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they quite hit the mark on it.
Okay.
That said, I'd be willing to give it the benefit of the doubt as this show goes on. I think the characters have the potential to be funny and grow to be lovable. But in this episode, I think they were kind of asking you too much as a new viewer. To get on side with the characters. I don't think they did enough to make me buy into it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I think a lot of the humor hinged on you buying into the characters straight away.
Right.
Which was a bit of a problem for me. But maybe that's just because I'm really touchy about euthanasia.
I think you're actually bang on the money there, Mike. The only character that established himself really well was the grandfather, I thought. I think you could have interchanged any of the other characters for a different one of the other characters. Like pretty much all the hockey players were the same, more or less, despite their best attempts to differentiate them. I think they kind of fell down on that. That being said, I didn't hate this. I thought it was funny in spots. A lot of the jokes did land for me. The whole setup for the euthanasia attempt and all that was ridiculously funny. And when he actually gave it his best shot, I was just in knots laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. Sorry, I hate when we do this, when we talk about the jokes to try and review the show, but I think it's a decently written show finding its feet. I think it needs a bit of time. And it's good to see the bell-ringing old man from Breaking Bad back doing something else.
Right. Actually, it's Dennis Leary's Apostle production company.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to give this another go.
Yep.
Yeah, because, the trailer that we had for the series gave me a lot of laughs. And granted, I didn't get as many laughs in this first episode as I thought I might, but I'm going to give it another go just to.
Wasn't there a very attractive lady in the trailer?
Could have been. I think there were
But
many
not
on
in
the
the
roster.
show.
There are many on the roster. Yeah, I think that's on the series roster. Yeah. Sorry, I have no more details for you, Mike. You'll have to do your own stalking in your own time.
No addresses or anything. Fuck's sake, what do I pay you for? Just can't get the staff. Jesus.
Will you watch more of this?
No. I'm going to wait for somebody else to watch it and come back and tell me in 5 episodes that this is fucking brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be me then, is that it?
Yeah. You're up, Steve.
Okay, so filler from you. Mark?
Yeah.
Though I think it has potential, I'm strangely in the same boat as Mike in this one. I think we need to wait and just let somebody else figure it out. And if they come back saying, yeah, after 6 episodes it's amazing, then I would probably give it a shot.
Okay. Grant. Okay, so it's a bit of filler, a little bit of thriller. Okay. Okay, last up we've got some previews. Come to a bicycle near you. So the first one we watched is Hail Caesar, which is due out next year, I believe. So this is about a Hollywood fixer in the 50s working to keep the studio stars in line. And so this stars Josh Brolin, Ray Fiennes, George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Jonah Hill, Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, there's just loads in there. Loads. Christopher Lambert's in it.
No way.
Yeah,
No way.
Yeah. So, yeah, so like I say, it's about the fixer who's trying to keep the stars being stars and not going missing and so on. We see in the trailer that George Clooney's character is kidnapped and held for ransom. So that's something he'll need to fix immediately. So I don't know if that's the only one or not, but it looks entertaining. He plays, was it Bard Whitlock? Yeah, is the name of the character. Scarlett Johansson looks good as well, actually.
Rarely fails to.
Rarely fails to, as you're right. But she looks like she's got a prominent character, let's say, which is good. So more Scarlett we see, the better. So what do you reckon on this?
Do you know the big letters up in the Hollywood Hills? The big 100-foot Hollywood
The ones
letters?
that say Hollywood?
Yeah. If you replace them with CAPER.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
It's that screamingly obvious.
It is,
what kind of movie this is going to be.
But it's a Coen Brothers movie.
I don't care.
Yeah, so it's going to be brilliant.
No, it's not, Steve.
It's rarely they fall down.
No.
Like, you know.
I think Steve is right, Mike. I think this is going to be awesome.
Yep.
No, guys.
It looks like George Clooney is really on point. He's back to his "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" comedic genius.
I fucking hated "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou."
You would, Mike.
Yeah. You miserable old shite. You. So this is a dramedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a dramedy I will never see.
I think you might.
I think you might wind up watching it, all right?
That's booked in, I'm afraid, now, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know any vets?
Have you a sore foot or something that you need fixed? Or
No. You could get some kind of sedative, and then I just wake up and you have it playing for me.
Okay. Need a fucking horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
So, okay, next one we looked at was Love the Coopers. So this stars many people as well: Olivia Wilde, Amanda Seyfried, Marissa Tomei, John Goodman, and many others.
Yeah.
So this looks like the one set up. Well, it is set up for Christmas. It's in the whole spirit of Christmas, and about a family getting together and hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I gathered from it. It does look funny.
Do you ever wish it could be Christmas every day?
I know I do, Mike.
What do you think? Like all the situations they get into them, they discover more about each other, and the bonds just grow closer because of the they're striving together to get out of these. What do you know?
I can tell you straight up, I'm going to watch this on mute because Olivia Wilde is in it.
Amanda Seyfried's also in it.
She kind of pales in comparison.
Jeez. I'm not going to get into that. But you're wrong. Yeah, this looks like fun. Looks like good, clean family fun.
Yeah.
Along the lines of Vacation or something. National Lampoon's.
Probably not that far, but yeah, it's a comedy, a slapstick comedy. So
yeah,
might be alright.
The tagline is "You can't re-gift family." Yeah. So yeah, that's coming up, and the last one we looked at was Shelter. This is another favourite of mine in it. Jennifer Connelly.
Bit different from the other two, this one.
Yeah. So there's Jennifer Connelly.
Distinct lack of belly laughs.
Yes, for sure. And Anthony Mackie. Is it Mackie or McKee? I'm not sure. Actually, he was in one of the previous movies you talked about as well. It might have been the last one. Yeah, anyway. So Hannah and Taylor fall in love while homeless on the streets of New York. Shelter explores how they got there, and we learn about their past. We realise they need each other to build a future, says IMDb. So,
this looks like a brilliantly acted shit movie.
It's a drama, Mike.
Yeah.
A drama. I want to see this.
I'm so sad.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I've got secrets.
You
I've got regrets.
and me together, we can make it.
Yeah. I know, but I still want to see
It's
it.
so hard on the streets.
I kind of want to watch this shit movie as well.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident that it's going to be terrible stuff,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mind. Wouldn't mind having another look.
Yeah.
I'd be worried that a lot of the good stuff is given away in the trailer.
The trailer, yeah. I was, I don't even want to talk about the trailer, really.
Yeah, I shut it off after 30 seconds still to go because I
Yeah.
got the feeling that stuff was being spoiled on me.
Yeah.
Hate trailers like that.
Yeah, for sure.
The only way I'd go to see this is if there was like a nacho famine in the cinema. For 6 or 8 months, you couldn't get nachos in the cinema, and then suddenly they arrived. And I just go
But
and watch
only
any
for
old
this
shite.
film.
Only for this film. No, I think it'll be worth a look. I don't think it'll be an Oscar winner, but I think it'll certainly be worth a look, all right. Yeah. I could be wrong about the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, they're ramping up.
They are.
Yeah.
Mm.
Any tips for us, Mike?
Spectre.
10
of them.
What about that one we looked at a few weeks ago? Your man who played Stephen Hawking, where he's in drag.
What, the Danish girl?
Yeah, that's been tipped.
Best foreign movie, maybe.
No, Mike. There's been a couple of others recently, but they're usually along the same lines where they're like fine art movies, as opposed to summer blockbuster.
Yeah. Has Meryl Streep been in anything this
She
year?
has, yeah.
Yeah, there's one anyway.
There's one, yeah. Saoirse Ronan, I believe she's sort of gearing up for the Oscars now as well. It's been mentioned in the local papers recently.
Yeah. Who's doing her dress?
I don't know. Jeez, it better not be the same crowd as last year, I tell you that. That's all we watched this week.
There you go.
No other news? No? Nothing else to say for yourself? Good. Yeah.
Wait to fuck with you.
Wait to fuck. Listen, we stuck a post up on Facebook during the week of all the series returning.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually got into the list.
Yeah.
Did you see the length of it? I actually missed Arrow. Sorry, Mark. But there was about 30. There was.
But didn't they cancel everything we reviewed?
Well, that's what I thought. And then there's stuff coming back, for season 4 and 5. I was like, what?
No.
I didn't think it would make it through season 1. But, Survivor is back for season 33 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Survivor will never stop.
Yeah. People keep watching the damn thing. Have you seen Code Black yet?
No, didn't get to it, Steve.
Oh, God, man, you got to get to it. Yeah. That'll be you for the winter. Yeah, for sure. How to Get Away with Murder is back. They're still getting away with it.
Oh, it's great, actually.
What's the story? What's the story with each season? Is it a murder each season, or is it the same
Seems
one?
to be. It seems to be.
Okay.
I'm not convinced that there is a murder in this season. I'm not going to say why, because the scene they set for the potential murder, at least in this season, is kind of a shock twist, so I wouldn't like to spoil it on anybody. But I don't think that'll turn out to be a murder. I think that'll be something else.
And
But
are these kids ever going to get out of college?
well,
How many years have you stayed back now?
It is not a season a year. It's not like Grey's Anatomy where every season is everyone moves on a year in school. These are all happening back to back, and the events of the first one are still very relevant in this season because it was only a couple months ago. So that's one thing that's in its favor, because all of the events, they can draw on the events of the past seasons then They're still like they haven't. There's so many loose ends that haven't really been tied off. But no, it's a quality show. I know it would never feature in either of your viewing pleasures, but as shows helmed by Shonda Rhimes go, I think it's probably the best one. It's passed out Scandal in my estimation. Now Scandal has gotten very samey at the moment, which is also back.
Yeah.
But no, I think if you had to pick just one Shonda Rhimes show this season, I think it'd be How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay, right. What else did I see was back? Well, there's Homeland, of course. I got to episode 1, and there's a few comments actually on our Facebook page, and one in particular says that it appears, or apparently, Carrie does her greatest hits of crying in episode 4. So Homeland, The Affair is back, season 2.
No way.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad show. No. Chicago PD is back.
Ah, Jesus.
I knew you'd be delighted about that.
Is that like Chicago Fire, only with cops?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, but with cops, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Bones, season 11.
Whoa. Jesus, they got a lot out of that, didn't they?
Yeah, didn't they? iZombie. Do you remember that one about your one working in the pathologists? Yeah.
That was destined to be canned.
Yeah, I there's another detective, mixed genre detective, someone with skills show. Jeez, I forgot about that one. What else? South Park is back at season 19. Can you believe it? Season 19. What else was there? Supernatural, season 11. Agents of Shield.
Oh God, season 10 was so bad.
Really? Yeah.
I've been waiting for Sean to get on the podcast to talk about it, but season 10 was such a waste of time. Dean and Sam, Castiel and Crowley are all on jet skis in the ocean looking for sharks.
Okay.
Okay.
I suspect they've probably already jumped several. But that show is it's just gone too far. It's gone too far. You know?
Yeah.
They need to just sunset it quickly.
There's another series that started back that I haven't heard you mention, which I'm kind of surprised about, which is Gotham.
Watch the first episode. Struggling to get hooked on that again. Are you watching it, Steve?
No, I'm not on it now at the moment, no. No. Is it worth a watch?
First episode was good.
Yeah.
It was good, but there's so much.
Yeah. The Blacklist, season 3.
Watch the first
gets
couple
longer.
of episodes of that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is it really?
I have a suspicion that what's the lead in that? The girl.
Yeah, that girl. Yeah.
I think she's pregnant.
Oh, really?
Strong suspicion, or at least at the time of filming she was.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of baggy, flowy clothes.
Might have been too many pies. Don't know.
It could have been, because her face is meatier, but my suspicion is that it's...
And another one that's back that I was surprised at is Sleepy Hollow. Do you remember?
Is that
reviewed
third season?
Third
for that?
season, yeah.
That wasn't a bad show.
Did you watch more of it?
I watched most of the first season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine, you can't say that it wasn't a bad show when you only watched a bit of a season, like...
That's pretty good for me.
In fairness, it is, yeah. The Originals, we reviewed that too, didn't we?
Yes, that was shite.
What was that about?
That was the
Vampire Diaries spin-off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, down in
Yeah, okay.
Louisiana.
Grey's Lobotomy, like I said, is season 12. Big Bang Theory, season 9. I thought that was ended, but anyway. We talked about The Flash, How to Get Away with Murder. Empire, season 2. Did we talk about Empire before, Mike?
Can't remember.
We never actually reviewed the highest rated show in the States.
This is the thing, because I have a feeling I've seen it. I just can't believe that we didn't.
No, we've seen something very like it.
Oh, Power or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I actually pinged you about this last week or the week before.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of that as well. But since then, my memories have bubbled up to the surface and I've gone, no, that was a different thing.
Okay, we'll have to have a look at that. Yeah.
We probably should give it a look.
Yeah. Put it on your other stuff to watch. Yeah. Oh, you know what's back, which I was quite surprised at, is Scorpion. Do you remember we looked at that?
No.
It is Patrick Not Patrick Stewart. Stuart Patrick? What's his name? You know, Terminator.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
No, Terminator guy.
Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick, yeah. Do you remember he was in charge of a bunch of misfits who were let out of jail if they helped him do stuff?
Vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely. It wasn't great. I mean, the dialogue ruined it, really. But they're back.
All right.
Yeah. There's a market for everything, I guess. Criminal Minds, season 11. Downton Abbey is back, season 6.
Final season for Downton, right?
Mm-hmm. Castle is back, season 8. And Continuum continues with season 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am now 2.5 seasons behind on that, but I really want to catch up. I'm not giving in. I'm going to watch it someday.
Remind me, what's Continuum about? It's been a long time since we looked at it.
The cop from the future has a special suit in the past.
Right. It's a really nice suit.
She featured in one of our Bikey Awards.
I believe she did, yes. Mm.
Oh,
she
right.
was a strong contender, yes.
Oh, for best catsuit?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think she lost out to Anne Hathaway from Batman.
She did, yeah.
Who got the services rendered again?
Oh, that was Kate Beckinsale.
Okay, Beckinsale.
Lifetime Achievement Award. Jeez,
we need Jonah back on here. You know, this place is going to pot.
So downhill.
Well, we've brought up the bikies now. I know it's a little bit early, but
oh, it's never too early.
I think one category we're going to have this year is best mixed gender detective show.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. There's at least 2 categories relating to that. I'd say best male female and best female male. And there might be a gender fluid one in there as well. So you know, it could be either or on both sides. You know, so actually, we just go with the gender fluid one, and that'll cover both sides. You know, so.
Is this still the podcast, or are we just talking shit?
No, don't we always just talk shit?
I think that's what a podcast is, Mike, by definition.
So what else on the bikies? Like what other common genres have we had this year?
Well, we'll have the usuals like best TV show, best film, best pretender, best pretendress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, we've just got our leader for best watch baked.
Best watch baked. Right, yeah. I'm just trying to think what else is in this here. They'll probably have best foreign movie, although Mark will probably argue there's no such thing. Not worst foreign movie. Yeah. And what else is there?
Best Left Behind in Space movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. Best Robinson Crusoe themed movie, and best medieval. What would you call it?
TV show.
TV show. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Medieval themed. Best Good Clean Dirt TV show. Yeah.
Best Chainmail Showdown.
Do you know what we probably should award as well? We should award a show that has lasted the longest past its sell-by date.
That's a very good idea, actually.
Because when you're going through the list there, how many shows are up in double-digit seasons that really shouldn't be?
Yeah, even those on season 2 that shouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, I read an article a month or two ago talking about how shows get a second season now. Kind of by default. They tend to get cancelled after season 2 rather than season 1, because when people hear that season 1 has is all there's going to be, they tend to not pick it up for DVDs or Netflix or whatever the equivalents are.
Right.
So they tend to let it run a second season. There's other reasons as well, which I can't remember. It was a really good article over on TV by the Numbers.
Yeah.
So just because a show gets to second season doesn't mean it's going to last very much longer.
Yeah. I have to say, it's, best TV show, there's an out-and-out leader, I think, this year for best new TV show.
Really?
Yeah, the one we watched in like 2 days.
Oh, yes.
Narcos.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to catch up on Narcos to see if I agree with you assholes.
Yeah, I think you should. You won't regret it, I think. I think you'll like it.
We're going to have to start getting our lists together so that we can start watching stuff that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Mark? I was actually talking to Ewan about the other day, and he came to the conclusion that he prefers Narcos to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, you realise that this means you failed as a parent.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Did you hear about that stuntman suing Sony for age discrimination?
Oh.
He was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm.
Yeah, he's 63 now, and he said that he feels that he was mistreated on the set of Amazing Spider-Man 2,
right.
and ended his career.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's alleged that it's due to his age.
All right.
63, ageism.
That's a big age for being a stuntman.
Yeah, but does it matter? You know, does it matter when you're a stuntman? Like, if you can do the job, I mean, what does it matter what age you're?
But you have to prove that he was sacked over his age, do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, did they say, listen, if you were like 62, we'd probably be okay?
Maybe they're afraid he'll crack a hip or something.
Yeah, like, presumably he's a lot slower, like.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I meant to say. In Oscars news.
Yeah, I found actually when I hit 63, I did slow down.
Yeah. 82 is the real one. I thought that's when
That was a big hit.
Yeah, I thought they really
Saw a
hit
big
badly.
change in your 80s, Mike.
Yeah. In Oscars news, I know it's not till the end of next February, but there have been 81 movies submitted for the best foreign movie.
Whoa.
81.
We're not going to get through all them.
No, not a chance. You know,
Wait
but
for the short
way.
list, my friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But 81, it's going to be incredible. Yeah. I think we're going to have to watch Son of Saul, which is a Hungarian movie. It's about the.
No, we don't.
Oh, it's nothing to do with Breaking Bad.
No, it's about the Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It won the Grand Prix at Cannes this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a prison guard's perspective, or
I don't know. It's a drama. It's not a dramedy, I'd say. Also, the other heavy hitter at Cannes this year was The Assassin, which is Taiwanese, and that got Best Director.
All right.
So, yeah.
What about The Lobster?
The Lobster, yeah.
We haven't looked at that.
No, it's not out yet.
It's making a big noise.
It is, yeah. Well, I hope for Colin's sake that it does better than it looks in the trailer. Yeah. Yeah. I was looking to see if Guru Vanana would make it for Canada.
Oh yeah.
Oh, be still my beating heart.
It didn't, I'm afraid. Felix and Mira did. So we'll have to wait for a shortlist. Yeah. There's some cool looking movies though. So yeah. Oh, from Ireland, Viva, which is Paddy Breathnach.
What's that about?
I have no idea.
All right.
It's about living, I'd say, or long living, or something.
Or going to watch the rugby.
Yeah, going to watch the rugby or something like that. Yeah. So okay, right, we'll wrap it up. Enough rambling. So yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Send us a tweet at Is It a Bicycle. Find us on Facebook, or email us. Surprise us at isitabicycle@gmail.com. Or podcast at isitabicycle.com either. It'll get to the same mailbox. It's all good. And so from Mike, Mark, and Steve, stay classy.
I have tasted my own medicine and it's bitter. Start the fucking podcast.
Fucker.
Stop.
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 9, Episode 14.
I was waiting for it.
For fuck's sake. Wasn't that funny? Okay, cabbage. Right.